Alright Forsaken fans, we've got a lot of new killers that have been revealed for Forsaken through leaks and sneak peeks. Today I'll be going through every single one of them, so without further ado, let's get into it. Firstly, let's start with Doombringer, easily one of the most hyped upcoming killers in Forsaken, and for good reason. This guy is rumored to be the 7th or 8th killer added to the roster, and everything we've seen so far paints him as an absolute powerhouse. Lore-wise, Doombringer is based on the real Roblox figure Mr. Doombringer, who started as a super moderator back in 2013 and eventually became a senior software engineer. In Forsaken's world though, he's far from a behind-the-scenes dev. Here, he's a fallen enforcer who sees himself as delivering justice, but in reality, it's a warped, brutal kind of justice. Visually, he's a killer you're not going to mistake for anyone else. He's rocking a bucket helmet with angry-looking eye slits, massive curved horns, heavy armor on his chest and feet, and chains wrapped tight around his torso. His left eye has that glowing, ominous look, and right across his chest plate is a name tag that just says Doom, and yeah, it looks like it's bleeding. Oh, and his weapon, a massive red spiked banhammer. This man is basically the embodiment of evil justice. Now, in terms of abilities, we've had a few hints. One of the big ones is Jail, where Doombringer can literally trap survivors in a cage. Other players can rescue them, but it takes a few seconds to interact, and while they're trapped, the survivor gives off a distinct audio cue but no aura, the making rescues a little riskier. Then there's Chain Pull, which lets him throw out a glowing red chain that yanks survivors right to him, and it can actually hit up to 3 people in a row if lined up right. Exact cooldowns and timings aren't confirmed yet, and like most upcoming killers, there's still some balancing work to do. But already, Doombringer's kit is sounding like a nightmare for survivors who like to play safe or hang back. Oh, and one last detail, he's reportedly going to be voiced by the same actor who did the Demon King John Doe skin, so expect some seriously menacing voice lines when he finally drops. Next up is the killer that's probably generating the most hype right now, Guest 666. Also known as Sixer, this is Forsaken's upcoming 6th killer, and everything about them feels like a perfect mix of Roblox legend and horror game menace. Guest 666 is based on the old Roblox creepypasta about a mysterious guest account with admin powers, but Forsaken's version pushes the concept way darker. Here, they're a demonic, corrupted figure. No silly commands or trolling, just an unstoppable force brought to life through myth and code. Visually, Guest 666 is striking. He has a pitch black head under a red brimmed cap with an R logo, glowing red horns, digitigrade legs wreathed in fiery effects, a mane of dark red energy flowing behind them, and a tail tipped with the Roblox logo. Their claws, torso, and kneecaps are metallic, giving them a haunting, almost robotic feel. It's the kind of design you notice instantly in a match, and the kind that's going to stick in players' heads. Gameplay-wise, this killer is looking stacked. Their passive revolves around a token system. Every time Guest 666 eliminates a survivor, they gain a token. These can be spent to activate Blood Hunt, which highlights the survivor with the lowest health, blinds them, casts a red tint over the killer's vision, and hides everyone else. The effect boosts movement speed, and each hit on the targeted survivor extends the duration, turning an already scary chase into a nightmare. Their most talked about ability right now is Leap. It lets Guest 666 launch in a wide arc, clearing obstacles and potentially slamming straight onto survivors. If the leap connects, they follow up with slashes, making it both visually flashy and incredibly dangerous. Combined with Hemorrhage, which inflicts bleeding and reduces a survivor's max health on hit, Guest 666 can keep up constant pressure. There's also a scrapped Infernal Skewer, a vicious tail strike that drags survivors in, and a scrapped move called Demonic Pursuit, which would have been a winged grab attack, proving just how much experimentation went into their design. The lore gives Guest 666 a surprising emotional core. They were once Noob's best friend, but jealousy and betrayal destroyed that bond. After being banned by Bilderman and abandoned by the Spectre, Sixer transformed into the vengeful figure we see now. And yet, hints of regret remain, found in game through the Letter NPC, which shares an emotional message from Noob to Sixer piece by piece. The more letters you find, the more you start to feel the tragedy behind the monster. All of this is building up to Chapter 2 of Forsaken, titled Strangers from the Past. It brings Guest 666 into the spotlight as the new killer, alongside the survivor Veronica. Next up, we've got Flowers, or as it's actually pronounced, Proim, which means flowers in Hebrew. This killer has been rumored for quite a while, and now we've got a much clearer picture of what they bring to the table. Flowers is a tall, pitch-black figure with an elongated head, built using the Robloxian 2.0 body that constantly distorts into different shapes and sizes. It's so dark that it isn't affected by lighting in-game, making it stand out no matter where it is. The lore for Flowers is still a mystery, but developer Hitoko has hinted that it may have wandered into, or been dragged into, the Spectre's realm. What's interesting is that the Spectre apparently didn't intend for Flowers to be there, which could set up some really unique story beats later on. We've already seen Flowers appear in multiple leaks. In one Guest 666 sneak peek, there's an NPC version placed by the devs, likely for testing, and in another you can spot it in the background glowing bright red, just standing there. Flowers has also been given animations already, meaning progress on the killer is further along than people think. The abilities we've seen so far include Punch, where Flowers swings a massive fist to deal damage, Call, where it stands still and whistles, though we don't know what the whistle does just yet, and Transform, where Flowers changes into a taller, lore-accurate version of itself. Interestingly, there was a batch of scrapped content for Flowers created by lead animator Bell's Necrosis before they had to step away from the project. This included the Whistle Irony intro, where two different Flowers models, one running, one jump scaring, were meant to appear. There were also planned executions for both its normal and transformed form, plus animations for idle, walking, running, both attack types, and the transformation sequence. The whistle animation in particular was meant to be a key part of its identity, potentially interacting with survivors in unique ways. While much of that early work was scrapped, it's clear that the team still sees Flowers as a major addition to Forsaken's roster. With its eerie design, strange whistle ability, and ties to the Spectre's realm, this killer could end up being one of the creepiest and most visually distinct in the entire game. Slasher is another killer set to arrive in Forsaken, and thanks to recent lore reveals from Hitoko, we've got a much clearer picture of his backstory and his connection to Guest 1337. The shared images and quotes paint a tragic history, showing multiple points where Slasher and Guest's lives could have intersected long before they ever stepped foot into the Spectre's realm. One early moment shows Guest standing up for Daisy in the last Guest movie, protecting her from bullies, while in a parallel scene, Slasher himself is on the receiving end of cruel treatment from other Bacons. Another piece of lore drops us into the infamous war against General Bacon, revealing both Guest and Slasher's perspectives. Guest is seen injured on the battlefield, while Slasher's fate takes a darker turn. He ends up dead and awaiting experiments in the morgue at Area 51. This grim twist sets the stage for what comes next, Slasher being altered by the Necrobloxicon experiments, changing him forever. The fourth lore image is perhaps the most shocking. Slasher returning to the Forsaken realm, now completely transformed, standing face to face with a stunned Guest. It's heavily implied that Guest realizes Slasher is now a monster and might even be intent on killing him. It's also been confirmed by Hitoko that Slasher is close allies with both Jeff and Slenderman, forming a dangerous trio that could easily cause chaos in-game. Design-wise, Slasher has a striking look. Underneath his iconic mask, he's actually a bacon-haired Robloxian suffering from a skin condition called ichthyosis, something more noticeable around his face. This opens up possibilities for alternate skins, like a cracked mask version revealing more of his features. His real name is Jason, and if he had a Roblox username, the devs say it would be JasonBacon1980. There's even concept art for his mother, clearly inspired by Pamela Voorhees from the Friday the 13th franchise, but reimagined in Roblox style. According to lore, Jason grew up watching horror films as a way to cope with bullying, a detail that adds depth to his personality. With all of these connections, designs, and backstory threads, Slasher is shaping up to be one of the most compelling and lore-rich killers Forsaken has teased so far. And that's all we know about the upcoming killers for Forsaken. Which killer are you most excited for? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed, hit the like button and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one.